Have you ever been watching a movie or listening to someone tell a story and they're just spending way too much time going into depth on every little thing that is going on? That's distracting, right? That's how drawings are. You don't want to spend too much time over-explaining certain parts with your lines or going into too much detail on certain things. It can distract from the overall drawing. When you're creating an illustration, it's important to stay focused. Leave some things implied. Let the viewer fill in the blanks. Take, for instance, the chef's shoulders. We need them for weight and believability in this drawing, but we don't actually need to draw their outlines. That's just distracting from the overall picture. By taking that bottom line of the scarf and extending it a little ways, you can begin to suggest about how big the chef's shoulders are and where they'd sit, and the viewer can fill in where they will end. Same thing goes with the cuff of his shirt and his arm coming down off of that hand. You could spend time sticking on those stripes that go on the edge of his cuff, but that's more lines than is really necessary, and it's just going to be distracting from his face. And if you draw the lines down too far coming off of his arm, that's going to be a distraction that just makes a weight imbalance on this drawing. By taking the cuff and defining it just enough so we know where his arm is going, the viewer can fill in the rest. If we decided to fill his scarf in black, we may want to stick white lines on it to show some of the wrinkles and other things. But if you get too hung up on the details, going all the way around the knot in the front, making too many wrinkles, that's going to create a huge distraction. You want to keep your lines a little bit thinner than your outlines even when you're on black shapes. White lines on black are going to be even more distracting than just black outlines against white. You can create a much more balanced and focused picture if you don't spend too much describing or over-describing things to the viewer, and keeping focused and leaving some things up to suggestion.